Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Matchbook Horse Racing podcast. Steve Jones, Micheál Deasy, alongside me, Tom Stanley, to preview the pick of the weekend's action. That includes Group 1 racing in the form of the Lockinge. We'll start off with York on Friday because we're recording this Thursday afternoon. We've got a couple of bets there. And then between Newbury and Newmarket on Saturday, the racing's coming thick and fast this time of year. And it's pretty good stuff as well, and more of the same. Relatively open, I think. So a good few opportunities for Saturday afternoon bets. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening. A reminder of the Pod 50 offer, where you can get bet 50 and get 50 in free bets. You just got to use the code Pod 50. Head to the website for terms and conditions there. And we'll also have our £5 money back as a free best bet treble at the end of the podcast, where you can have a £5 treble. If it doesn't cop, you get your money back. So why not? That's for new and existing customers. Right. Anything on York on Fridays? Steve Jones, you've got a few, including one in the feature race over the staying contest at York. But take it away, Jonesy. The floor is yours for your 3 on Friday at York, the final day of the Dante meeting.
Yeah, well, the first one's in the first race, which is a fillies race for 2-year-olds, and Marygate is a listed race. And Love Olivia, who will be towards the top of the market, probably sharing favouritism with Harry's Girl, who also won first time up. But Love Olivia didn't beat anything at Wolverhampton, but was very, very impressive, and has got a nice pedigree, good sprinting pedigree as well. Trained by Carl Burke, who's having an unbelievable run with his 2-year-olds. He's also got Alaskan Light in there, but I think Love Olivia might be very smart. And the way she did it first time at Wolverhampton, I thought definitely this race and then the Queen Mary. So I've seen nothing to put me off that. So the first one is in the first race, Love Olivia. The next one, like you say, is in the Yorkshire Cup, and I'm going to go for Continuous, who seems to have lost the plot a little bit, but Aidan O'Brien's been in such good form, and he's got blinkers on for the first time. Now, Continuous won the 2023 St Ledger, and you thought naturally, given what O'Brien does with these sort of horses, they would go on and become a cup horse, but it's been disappointing since then. Has been running mostly over shorter, though. So I think definitely this longer distance is going to help. It's only just shy of 1.6 miles, but that might be perfect for Continuous. And I don't like horses that have been around the world in returning to Britain. Rebels Romance being that one who's got to give a penalty away, been all over the place. So I wanted to take Rebels Romance on, and it's Continuous is the one I've got. And then in the final race, the 5:30, which is a much, much bigger price than those. I think we're going about 26.0 at the moment. Al Muqdad, who won 4 times last season, was consistent in good handicaps. And I just can't understand why this horse is been ignored, because it's trained by David O'Mara, who targets these York handicaps. And I just thought that Al Muqdad would improve an awful lot for the run first time up at Redcar. So that one at a bigger price. So Al Muqdad in the 5:30.
He nearly landed the opening race at York on day one with stress-free, and he does target them for sure. I'm going to play in the 4:15 at York. It's a 5-furlong handicap. I'm firmly of the opinion you want to challenge over towards the far side on the straight course. So if you are drawn low, it's going to be a benefit because you're already over there. And I quite like being on the pace, although a few horses came from off the pace, to be fair, on day one. We haven't seen day 2 yet, but I like Loom. He's drawn in stall number 3 for Billy Garrity and Richard Farr. He tried 6 furlongs last time in a decent race, and that was at the Craven meeting where the pace wasn't holding up all that well, which is strange for the Rolling Mile because normally it does. He got a whack on the nose as well from another rider's whip. It didn't really work out. It's been eased a pound subsequently, but I just think this is a quick horse and he wants 5 furlongs. He actually started over 6 at this track and didn't look like he got home, dropped back to 5 and 1. And I'm looking forward to seeing him over the right side on the speed, back over 5 furlongs and a fast 5 as well. I think he wants quick ground too. So all things considered, a bit soft at Newmarket for him. I thought Loom at 12.0 was well worth a win place bet. Okay, you agree, Dees? Didn't expect that.
I do, yeah. I actually backed him at Ascot last year when he after that ripping race he finished 7th in the Norfolk, and he has been seen since. I was looking at him last night and I forgot about him until you put him up, so I'm not going to steal your tip, but I would be backing him as well. Yeah, he's a nice horse.
Good. More ballast to the case for Loom. That's Friday done at York. Saturday, then you can kick us off, DC. I think a lot of people are going to be either Dancing Gemini or the filly that he beat last time, who had the Group 1 penalty and who probably needed the run. So you have gone with Tamfana in the Lockinge. That's the race we're kicking off with. Make your case.
Yeah, look, it's just a price thing. You can knock Dancing Gemini. I think you can knock the top two in the market. Rosalia and Audible Speech. I don't think there's a huge amount of depth there for him. Last season, if you look at Rosalian's 2 wins, I don't think any horse that he beat went to do anything for the rest of the year. Same with Audible Speech, and he was very in and out after the Guineas. He was just the fittest horse there at the Guineas and didn't really kick on as much as he should have. We thought Tamfana, look, she beat some good horses last year. In Spiral, won the Lockinge last year, finished close up to Charon at the end of the season. Just rock solid, I think. She's got a nice little break the weight, so this time she's not carrying the penalty this time. Look, she's 6.5. Would be a bit worried that David Manouzier hasn't had any real winners at all for the last 2 weeks or even before that. He's not having a great start to the season. But Tamfana ran well. I think she'll have a good crack off this as well. And about 7.0, I think she's a decent win bet.
I feel like Menuisier, I should probably look at his monthly stats at the start of the year, but he is a slow burn kind of guy, so I wouldn't worry about that too much with his horses that are running first out. He tends to be afforded the chance to take his time. If you're going to have a horse with him, I think you sort of allow that to happen. I've gone the other way, as has Steve with Dancing Gemini. Steve, it's not that I don't respect Rosalian and Notable Speech. I think they were excellent last year. They were the standouts anyway, that 3-year-old mile division. But I just like Dancing Gemini having won twice now. He feels a bit Charity to me last year, being consistently underestimated until people finally went, oh shit, he's quite good. So he's obviously not going to lack for a recent run because he's had 2. And it turns out he's really quick. He's got a proper miler's turn of foot.
Yeah, I just think he's a very good horse. And he might be underestimated. And I'm with Dees that the form of the 3-year-old milers last year, everyone kept telling me, well, someone was trying to tell me the other day that it was exceptional, but I don't think it is personally. And Rosalian coming off the back of that near year-long break, I think he's entitled to be vulnerable. So Dancing Gemini, what he's done this season has been really impressive. But you go back to last season, I mean, he came very close to winning the French Guineas. And then later in the season, when Roger Teal didn't have a good year and his horses were a bit hit and miss, ran well in the Derby. And it sort of tailed off, but it's come back with a bang and has looked very good. So Dancing Gemini for me, yeah.
That's the Lockinge, the feature race. We'll go back to the start of Newbury then, to the Aston Park Stakes. 3 different horses going up. And Steve, I'll come back to you straight away with Al Arsi, who was a winner on that Sandown card we just touched on. It was a bit of a surprise in that day. I think it's one of the biggest prices he's ever gone off, Al Arsi, and he won.
Yeah, and he won over a distance that is way short of his best. I think people sort of expected that to be a sighter for the rest of the season, but he did what he always does: travelled really sweetly in the rear, cruised through, and then found enough in the closing stages to see off the rest quite cosily in the end. And he's a horse who's got an excellent record at Newbury. He won this race way back in 2021, and he's just a really reliable horse. He probably will need a pace to aim at, but the fact he's stepping back up to 1.5 miles will help. He's a horse who can quicken, and that's always dangerous in these sort of races. And he's got a lot of class, and you wouldn't think that there'd be a lack of front runners. I think something will definitely go on, albeit that plenty of them like a bit of cover. Courage Mon Ami might be one over a distance, which is clearly shy of his best on his first run for a couple of years. But Al Assi, loads of class, cruise along in the rear and swoop in the closing stages.
Sorry, there seems to be a glitch on my system, Steve. It sounded like you said Al Assi is a really reliable horse, but obviously you didn't mean that, obviously. There must have been a glitch. No?
You look at his form figures. You look at his form figures.
Okay, no, they're fine. No, listen, stick to your guns on Al Assi being a really reliable horse.
Do you know what? I think he's better on decent ground as well. The twice he disappointed the back end of last season was on really testing ground.
When he was beaten 5 to 6 favourite over this course and distance, but I tell you, he's reliable.
You look at the betting if you want in that response. I've no words. How many wins has he come up with? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's won 10 times in 23 starts, and he's always running in group races. He's at this sort of level, he's lethal.
He's a rock solid Group 3 horse, and once he goes above that, he can't do anything.
Well, actually, you know what? That's probably fair enough.
He's 4 from 7 at Newbury.
Steve likes Al Assi. I've poked the bear now. I can't help it. I love it.
Yeah.
I was just astonished that, and now you'll put up something that's massively overrated.
I fancy El Cordobés for Charlie Appleby. William, here we go.
A Godolphin horse for my Dubai mate, Charlie Appleby. There's a surprise.
I think his win last time's been a bit underestimated. I thought it was really impressive. He's gone up £8 for it, so he still has quite a lot to find on official ratings. I will give you that. But he's getting weight now from Al Assi's got the £3 penalty, and I thought he was just a bit overlooked. Charlie Appleby won this with Hawkbill a few years ago. He's obviously a 4-year-old who's massively on the up. He started out in Meydan off 91. He's now off 108. And I think there's a lot more about this horse than just a Class 2 handicap win last time. I think he's pretty smart. So I was a bit disappointed with Someway last time. Ooh, King's Gambit. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't want to back him at the top of the market. I definitely respect Al Assi here. I would take the mick, I know, but I thought he was the main danger to El Cordobés. For me, DC.
I really like Table Talk in this, and he was a much bigger price when I was going through this last night. He's there about 72. Look, he won the Melrose last year at the Ebor meeting, which is generally a fairly good trial for this. If you look back through the years, you have the likes of Middlehart, who was a previous Melrose winner. We need a horse that can say the distance maybe even a bit more. So he's definitely stay at 1.5, 1.6. Hoping the price to be a bit bigger. There might have been a bit of market support from, but I think he's quite a decent horse, and he generally goes off at a decent enough price, probably because he's trained by Tom Clover. He's fairly unexposed as well. So yeah, Table Talk for Tom Clover at about 7.0.
Good stuff. We move on to the next race, the Carnarvon Stakes. Steve, I'd like you to have a guess at which horse I fancy in this race.
It'll be the one top on official figures, on official ratings, because obviously it's a listed race where they don't really matter. And it's probably going to be Symbol of Honor, I would imagine, because it's a Godolphin horse. And I can't not, in case Charlie Appleby's watching, or even Sheikh Mohammed, he might be watching the pod. And I need to curry favour with my Dubai mates.
I like Symbol of Honor. He is actually top on official ratings, rated 104, interestingly. But this horse...
Yeah. On Dubai form, that's really reliable. You talk about reliable Dubai form. That really is reliable.
This horse was really good over 6. Really good turn of foot out in Dubai. He was best over 6 in the UK as well, where he had some form amongst some of the top 2-year-olds last year. But 7 furlongs didn't suit him. He wants 6 furlongs and he wants a sound surface. 7 furlongs last time absolutely didn't suit. He was probably worse than that, though. He was not just enough with the distance to blame, but he was keen early. He'll settle over 6 here. He's a 6 furlong horse, and I think he's just better than these. So, symbol of honour for me, who is around about 7.0, which is a big old price. DC.
I like Hold the Dream for Clive Cox. Look, he started late enough in his 2-year-old season. He ran 3 times from August, September, and improved his race as he was allowed to do. Won his final race of the season at Yarmouth over 6. Returned there a couple of 2 weeks ago behind in a listed race at Chelmsford, beaten by Joseph O'Brien York that was race fit and had won previously. I think this could be just your typical improving sprinter that Clive Cox excels with. And he's about 11.0. I think he's a decent price for this. Really like Steve's one as well.
Go on, Steve.
Thanks, mate. At least someone's showing a bit of brotherly support. K-Burn, who started off last season with a win at Salisbury on fast ground over 6, showed that he has the pace when dropping back and winning the super sprint at Newbury. That's over 5. And that was a good performance, even though the form wasn't particularly strong, but it was a good performance dropping back to 5 and showing he had that speed. Then went up to York for the gym crack and just got a little bit too far behind, and which was, York's a funny track sometimes in the sprint course. But if you just look at the bare form as well, had Camille Pissarro in behind, and just in front was the likes of Big Mojo and Shadow of Light. So that was still a good effort, and it probably didn't happen for him at Doncaster for whatever reason when he was in midfield. But again, that was a very hot race for the sales race. Freshened up by, only had the 4 starts last year, now makes the reappearance, might well have improved over the winter. Jack Jones is a really, really good trainer. This would be just about the best horse he's got. And I wouldn't be surprised if Caban was well up to this sort of level. His form last year, even in the gym crack, suggested he would be up to listed level. And he's got the potential to be even better than that.
All right, next up is the London Gold Cup. So that's the 2 o'clock. Harry Charlton and Roger Charlton. Excellent record in this, including last year. You're both with Wave Rider with the hood on. Who wants to go first? Take it away.
I'll go. You go first, Dees. You go first.
Yeah. Look, I suppose the first thing you notice about this guy when you look at him is that he is stepping up in trip. Up 3 furlongs. He ran over 7 last year, made a season debut this year over 7 at Wolverhampton. If you just watched in the race, he came very wide out the outside, and was, I think, another 2 or 3 strides would have won the race. Looks a nice classy horse. This yard really know how to win this race. It's probably an early season target all the time for him. And he's the hood on. It's an interesting price. He's about 9.0. He was one that really stood out to me. There was nothing else in the race I really wanted to back. So, and he was the only one that I thought this is something I would have a tenner on. So, Wave Rider.
Steve, what do you like about the horse?
Yeah, everything, to be honest. The form is good. First time up was 4th to Bay City Roller, who went on to win a Group 2 and went unfancied over 7. Then next time behind Salal and Roman Centurion in a race that threw up a stack of winners, again over 7 furlongs. And then first time up this year behind Red Sand, who ran well without getting a run in a hot handicap at York yesterday. And like Dee said, nothing went right in that. He just doesn't have the pace for 7 around Wolverhampton. This is when he's going to come into his own. He's by Bellardo. who upgrades the form of his horses when they go a mile and 2 and further, and also from the family of a Group 1 winner over a mile and a half. So the pedigree suggests Stam there. The Hood, a little bit concerned about the Hood. They think he's going to be a bit keen. But if he's not, then he's got a massive chance. This is a red-hot race, the London Gold Cup. Follow the form of it. It stacks up every year. It's been one of my Grade 1 horses, Group 1 horses in the past, including Bay Bridge and various other good horses. And that, I think, Wave Rider is one of those. He's going to go through the grades.
I'm with Nebras, who was 3 lengths behind Alpine Trail, who I think might go and win a Dante today. So if I take that view, then Nebras, if Alpine Trail even runs really well, will probably go off favourite. So full brother to Nashwa, sorry, half brother to Nashwa, and appreciate the step up in trip last time for all Alpine Trail dominated, and this horse tried to come from off it, but I think he's better than a marker 97. Probably is top weight in here, but yeah, I'll have a bit on Nebras because I think that's good form from last time.
Nice little mention for the Dante, another Charlie Appleby Godolphin horse you fancy in the Dante. Yeah, nice little plug just to make sure they're still listening. Don't want to be put up in a merely a 6-star hotel next time you be in a 7-star or 8-star.
It's poked. The bear is poked. Right, we're moving on to the 7 furlong handicap at Newmarket, kicking things off 105. You said you were looking forward to the case for Physique, Dees, beforehand. So here we go.
Yes.
He obviously, on first start for the yard, the stewards quite rightly looked into it because it was eye-catching, and he was basically allowed to cruise home late on. That was with Ashim Murphy up. And then subsequent to that, it was funny how it worked out because the horse was keen at the Craven meeting and went forward, basically, was up there, and it paid to come from off it. But we know that's a good bit of form. And then last time, the horse stepped up to 7 and was allowed to bowl along under Holly Doyle. They obviously keep going with the Hood. My main angle is I think that was a better race last time, and I think this is going to take less winning. And he's gone up a couple of pounds. Just think there should be a lot more left in the locker. Jamie Spencer's on board. He is very capable of going forward, and I think they will here. I think he'll probably ping out, maybe edge over to the near side because he's drawn 9, and just go and boss them and dominate. I think he's the best handicap horse in the race, and this is a weaker race than last time when Misinformation took a step forward for her reappearance run. So Physique for me at 5.0, but it's not a really strong shout, to be honest. Don't know how reliable the horse is. DC.
Good, that was a good case you made there. I enjoyed that. I like Liebman down the bottom there for David O'Mara. This is his second start for David O'Mara, having been with Andrew Balding, and he's only won once. He's finished second 5 times out of 8 races, which is something I generally take note of. But look, he was a decent enough horse last year. Ran all right in handicaps. Has been sold out of the yard. He was a Judman horse. He's gone to David O'Mara, who is just one of the best in the business with handicappers. Was unlucky to win last time behind Ben Acre at Newcastle. Ben Acre just got the run on him, but he was closing well. It's the first time Ben Acre won in a long time. Again, there was market support from him as well, so they were obviously expecting a big run. Look, he's snuck in here at the bottom. He's rated 83. I think there could be plenty left in the locker there. And again, he's 8.0 in a race that might not take much winning, as you said. So I'll be sticking with him, Liebman.
All right, Steve Jones, who do you fancy?
Very strong on Walifi, who I thought was given like a company. The fact that he was 11 to 10 at Goodwood over 6 furlongs and disappointed, I think it's made him a bigger price in this than it should be, because that's never going to suit him. Being held up over 6 at Goodwood, it's just no chance. When he was a horse that won impressively and improved his form going up to 7 furlongs last summer, he's always going to have plenty of attention because he's from that really good family. He's a half brother to Waid and Hukam, and of the 5 siblings, they all won off, or the rest of them won off a higher rating than Walifi's got. So if you're going by that kind of metric, then you're saying that Walifi's the worst in the family, and I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to win this and improve through. He might even get a mile, but 7 furlongs round here is ideal. He was second to Lethal Levi after winning at Doncaster. That was at Newbury last week. That again is strong form, and he'd look to need every part of 7 furlongs. And given that he's a horse who's likely to have improved this season as well, I think he's a very good bet. Walifi, on the back of that comeback run a couple of weeks ago, should have just put the edge on.
140 at Newmarket over 7 furlongs. Couple of us with bets here. I'll kick off with Fondo Blanco, who is stepping up in distance. I think that's exactly what the horse wants on handicap debut off a mark of 85. Is a horse I put in my tracker off the back of his debut. That was at Newbury when it was pretty obvious he caught the eye really well. Subsequently went up to York and won on easy ground. I guess that's a slight... He ran well on quick ground last time, but his first 2 runs came on soft. I think Newmarket's going to be quick enough, given there's not a lot of rain around at the moment. But I think he definitely wants 7 furlongs. I think he's definitely better than a mark of 85. Fondo Blanco. The other bet is for you, Dees.
Yeah, I'm looking at Arabian Leopard for Jamie Spencer and David Simcock. Made a handicap debut a couple of weeks ago at Yarmouth, and if you just watch back the race, it was held out the back. And I think finished 4th. I think she was much better than the finishing of 4th. She kind of ran up the arse of the front tree and couldn't find a gap. And I think if she had got a bit of a gap, she would have given one that closer. There's definitely a few more pounds in the tank. She's running here off 75 at the bottom of the weights, and she's got in. She's close enough now to the top of the market. She's 6.0 here, and odds checker as I look at it. I was hoping for a bit of a bigger price, but I think the Spencer Masterclass in this one will be sneaking in, and hopefully we'll hit the frame.
Steve, just you in the 2:15 at Newmarket, 1 mile handicap.
Yeah, I thought I'd better after seeing you both having no bets, but it is a boring one because it's Classic Encounter, who's the form of his comeback when he was an ex-Godolphin horse who's joined George Bowie the back end of last season, and he won first time up at Redcar in a race that worked out really well. Austrian Theory was second. Those winners come out of that, like Cruyff Turn. And last time I thought he ran another solid race in a good handicap at Newmarket when he bumped into Great Chieftain, who was on a going day, and they were strung out across the heath that day on fast ground. So I thought the strong form of that was strong, and he was just very solid in a very winnable race.
Right, we move on to any other bets. Just me, I think, here, which is El Monjed in the 3:45 at Newbury. I thought the horse shaped really well in the race, won by stable companion More Thunder at the Craven meeting. I think this track will suit a little bit better. He won at York last year. He was drawn the right side on that occasion, so he was fortunate. But I still think he's a horse with a lot of upside. He wants a fast pace over 6. Track will be absolutely spot on. Could easily be a Wokingham type horse, or the stable companion More Thunder might win that anyway. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty eye-catching run at Newbury. I don't know what price he's going to open, but it's a competitive race. He'll be towards the top, definitely. But I think he'll be a backable price, and I would want him on side in the 3:45 at Newbury. El Monjed. The Matchbook Zero long shot selections now. Reminder that goes live an hour before each race. Most likely to get best odds because there's zero margin and zero commission. So take advantage of that if you want to win only bet. And mine is Persica in the Lockinge. It was the biggest price I could find. Thought it was just a bit underestimated, Persica, off the back of a good win over 9 last time. And the figures I tell you, he's got the speed to come back over a mile. Be patiently ridden. He look to pick up pieces, I think, late on over the mile. So 41.0, I'm gonna hope he can cause a bit of an upset. Although, to be honest, he's probably a race to try and play and get him into the 3. But that's my longest price of the day that I'm going to back. Persica, Steve.
Yeah, interesting. You've gone for my racing TV horse to follow of the year, but you've also gone for the same race as DC had already put a tip up, and we're meant to go in different races. But don't worry about that. I'm going for Caburn in that sprint at Newbury, the 125, who I think is underestimated and can be quite a smart sprinter. Well up to listed. Great.
And DC, you've gone for one in the Lockinge as well.
Yeah, was scrambling around because they're not really the big price. I thought Lead Artist was way overpriced in it. When you look at, he went off second favourite to Dancing Gemini last time. He went off 3.0, 4.0, and I completely bombed out. But that's probably the first bad run he's ever had in his life. I would be quite happy to forgive him just the one bad run. He's 21.0 here. The Gazas won it with a big price one last year. So just a 21.0, I'd have to have him outside as well. Lead Artist.
Best bets. My best bet is Symbol of Honor for the boys in blue in the Carnarvon Stakes. Steve.
Wave Rider in the London Gold Cup at Newbury.
And DC.
Leadman in the 105 Newmarket.
So 3 different races for you there. You can put those in your £5 money back as a free bet, best bet treble. If they don't cop, you get your £5 back. If the treble doesn't win, get your £5 back. That's for new and existing customers. So well worth doing that. Thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope we found you plenty of winners, and we will see you again soon. Thanks to Micheál Deasy and the really reliable Steve Jones. Bye-bye.